In September 1919, a former amateur artist and army veteran named Adolf Hitler joined the ranks of the German Workers' Party, later known as the Nazis. It was a decision that would have a profound impact not only on Germany, but the entire world. The atrocities committed by the Nazis at the height of their power are staples of every lesson on World War II. But just how did a democracy like Germany fall under the sway of a tyrant in the first place? Many Germans felt humiliated and betrayed by their leadership, and there was growing fear that their nation would be stuck in poverty and decline.
It began on the 1st of September, 1939. The German attack on Poland. That day, one world became another.
Männer, es wird ernst. Wir greifen an. Befehl von ganz oben. Ihr Einsatzgebiet liegt hier. Sie erhalten Jagdschutz. Noch Fragen? Für Führer, Volk und Vaterland.
That was the first operational order of the war. It was also the first for 22-year-old Otto Schmidt.
Das hat bestimmt meinen ganzen Körper ausgefüllt. Jetzt kommt das Sterben. Da gehörte man hinein, in diese Maschinerie des Krieges. Da mache ich mir selbst gar nichts vor. Dann muss man das, was man tut, verantworten.
Hitler had already challenged the great powers 2 years earlier. In 1936, the German army had marched into the Rhineland, demilitarized after the First World War. The Western powers had merely protested. First, the Rhineland was incorporated into the Third Reich. Then, 2 years later, Austria, and in September 1938, the predominantly German-speaking Sudetenland. The justification was always the same. He was merely bringing Germans and their territory back home. Then, early in 1939, Hitler's drive for expansion turned east. The city of Danzig. After the First World War, it was placed under the authority of the League of Nations and cut off from Germany by a swathe of land awarded to Poland. This was a recipe for conflict. Hitler now demanded a direct overland connection to Danzig and the reintegration of the city into the Third Reich. And he could count on the support of many Danzig citizens. Over 90% of them were German. Many had pinned their hopes on Hitler. Then came the 15th of March, 1939. Germany occupied Prague, broke up what was left of Czechoslovakia, and annexed Memel from Lithuania. Hitler had broken the Munich Agreement less than 6 months after signing it.
And therefore, the 15th of March was a crucial moment where the Western powers now saw Hitler for what he was, which was an imperialist who would stop at nothing and had no obvious limits to his expansionist aims.
Hitler announced a German-Polish non-aggression treaty. He also ordered his army leadership to prepare to wipe out the Polish state. "I'm going to make a devil's brew for them," he declared. The so-called return of Danzig to the German Reich was now only the pretext for all-out war on Poland.
In this climate of bitterness, Hitler rose to prominence. A gifted public speaker, he captured the people's disillusionment with a series of speeches calling for a stronger, unified Germany. He insisted that one group was to blame for the nation's post-war misfortunes: the Jews. A propaganda department produced art, films, and books praising Hitler and embracing his vision of a better Germany. After the death of President von Hindenburg in 1934, Hitler declared himself Führer, an absolute dictator.
Inflaming the already tense mood, propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels visited Danzig. The Polish media and army tried to build confidence with slogans of their own. Poland did have a large army, but technologically it was far behind the times. Polish propaganda tried to conceal the truth. Polish radio claimed that if there were a war, the Poles would be in Berlin in 3 weeks.
In World War I, German leaders were forced to sign the Treaty of Versailles, agreeing to shrink its armed forces, give up land, and pay large sums of money in reparations, weakening its already unstable economy. Hitler wasted no time tightening his grip on every aspect of German life. He tripled the size of the military, violating the Treaty of Versailles. In 1929, the Great Depression hit, destroying the German economy overnight and leaving millions unemployed. Hitler saw the ensuing chaos as his opportunity to seize power.